We all know that guy that just ain't that smart. And yes, I'm that guy. And yes, I'm on a four-wheeler running up a ice skating rink at the New East Coast Round 1 2021. Trail Seeker Adventures brings you to CJ's Raceway in Newburgh, West Virginia, where I'm not the only dummy. The youth hit the track first, and then it was our turn. You might say the track was a little slick. The New East Coast at CJ Raceway was a full weekend event. On Saturday, there's four-wheeler races, starting with the youth, and that's where I am today. It's a cold Saturday here at CJ's Raceway, but the youth is wrapping up, and let's get right into it. I'm racing in the 40 plus class on my 2006 LTR 450, and this will be the first race back since I broke my collarbone. And no, I didn't break my collarbone on a four-wheeler, it was on a bike. And other than loading this thing up, this is the first time I've been on it. After breaking my collarbone on the bike, I did get to go out and race and finish the NECXC S Series, and I did race a few other races on the bike, but I never jumped back on the four-wheeler. That's one thing I can say that the four-wheeler is definitely harder on, is your shoulders. It takes a lot of strength in order to hold yourself on this thing. It seems like every turn a four-wheeler or a quad is trying to throw you off, and it takes shoulder strength in order to hold you on, and I just didn't have it. So I thought, it's a cold, the ground is frozen, it's round 1, New East Coast is the first quad race that I could run this year, so I thought I'd bring the quad, and if nothing else, I could at least see how bad the woods was, because I was wanting to race the bike, my Beta 300 RR. When I was in the parking lot, I saw all the ice. I'm like, well, I'll race the four-wheeler, but I am for sure not racing that bike. But now that I'm down here in the woods, it looks prime. But up here in the field, definitely going to have to watch the ice. It's like an ice skating rink up here. And on the quad, it's not so bad because you really can't fall over unless you hit something. Leave it up to me. I can hit something because I have. But I'm currently running second. I think they were 6 in our class. I come up here, and as you can see, the quad is definitely tough to keep the camera clean. I hit some ice, slide around. Now I go from second and trying to make a pass on the first, back to third. So at this time, Mike, a good friend of mine, is first. Chris is second, and I'm third. We also got Bill, Willie, and Tom in our group. Usually my plan on these videos is to try to get you a full first lap. That way everybody can see what a full lap at a race series is all about. This is the New East Coast. Unfortunately, with a four-wheeler, it's a little tough. They throw a lot of mud. You go through a lot of tear-offs or roll-offs, and I can only reach up here and clean this thing off so many times. So I'm going to get as much video of the first lap as I can. That way you all, your friends and family, can see what the first lap, or at least a lap, in 30-degree weather on February is all about. So as you can see, once we got into the woods, things slow down a little bit. There's really nowhere to go other than the trail. You don't want to take a chance to get outside of the 2 ruts. You're basically like on a train. You almost can't mess up. You're in ruts. We've got somebody up here stuck. Everybody has stopped. Normally we're out beating the brush trying to find a way around the bottleneck, but nobody is interested in leaving the track. So I cleaned the camera. I pull off some tear-offs, talk to my competition right in front of me. I mean, it's kind of weird. Right there's 2 guys. It's first, second, and I can't even get around them. It is so weird on these quads how, well, that's one lesson I learned rather quickly, is you don't get out there and get yourself stuck on a log, because you could be sitting there the rest of the day. These things are so heavy. We moved a little ways, somebody else got stuck, and we decided, okay, let's go try and find a way around this bottleneck. We seen somebody else go out this way. He never came back. Unfortunately, we get out here, and here he's coming back. He must not know the area that well. I know all we got to do is get up on this logging road, because we raced here so many times. So I believe this is Chris. He gets up here. He's in my class. I'm following him out through here. He looks back and about messes up right there. And we come out to get back on the trail. It looks like the bottleneck has loosened up, and basically we lost some positions right here. I don't know what happened to him there. This guy stalls. I'm sitting here. My tire is against his tire. 4-wheelers are just so tough to get around people. I can't get it to back up. I don't have no reverse on the LTR. He can't get his started. But nobody behind us can get around us either. So he gets going, we get going, and now I'm first. Just like that. I did lose some position in the overall, but Mike went back the other way. He's behind us. I think he's third right now. Chris is second. Other than my shoulders not holding up to the pressures of riding a 4-wheeler through this tight stuff, my main concern is my fingers getting cold. And as of right now, my fingers are fine, but my right arm, my throttle wrist, I'm getting arm pumped something terrible. I put some rags around my grips. I normally do that on a real muddy day on these 4-wheelers because they get so slimy, and there's nothing worse for arm pump than not to have no traction on your throttle, because I run a twist throttle, and so I put rags on, and then I also have rubber gloves, like surgical gloves, underneath my regular gloves, and I was happening to grip pretty hard in order to get the throttle to twist, and it was causing me to get arm pump. Now I was dealing with this throughout the first lap, but the second lap it loosened up and I started feeling better. But arm pumps throughout the years I've learned is mostly from gripping the grips too tight, and I learned to just slow down, relax your arms until the arm pump goes away, and then you can get back on the throttle and work your way towards the front. But usually arm pump is just being excited and holding on way too tight. Of course, if your 4-wheeler or bike is not set up very well as far as suspension, that will also cause you to have to hold on tighter, and that will also cause you arm pump. So yes, he's in my class. I wasn't up to speed yet. I was just trying to get the feel of this four-wheeler. He seemed to be a little faster than me, and I'm not in this thing for points. I'm just out here getting back on the four-wheeler and mostly trying to get a little exercise. It's been so tough to get any seat time here in West Virginia. So I'll let him go, and hopefully I can get feeling better and catch him later. If you've watched any of my videos when I'm on the bike, the main goal is not to follow. That way, when somebody's in front of you, you can always find a line around them. But as you can tell here on the four-wheeler, there is no other line. You basically follow two ruts around the entire track until somebody lets you around. And I'm really surprised how well the quad guys work together in order to, when you come up on somebody, they're usually pretty good about letting you around, and I try to do the same. But as I was saying, the new East Coast, they have a different technique on race weekends. They let the quads run on Saturday and the bikes run on Sunday. Some people may not like that. I kind of like it because it helps them to stay on schedule. There was a little brief period between the youth and the adults, which allows them to get the four-wheelers out of the woods. As I find out later today, getting quads out of the woods is not the most easy task. But we'll get to that later. Right now, I'm ripping up on the old LTR. I basically, when I broke my collarbone, I took it home, threw it in the building, and never even looked at it until just the last week or so. I went up to start it. The battery's bad. Elkins Motorsports hooked me up with a battery, got her fired up, and loaded it up on the trailer. And here we are out here having an awesome time at the new East Coast. As you can tell, the woods, it's awesome. It's just a muddy day out here in the woods, ripping through the trails, but the logging roads and the fields was definitely something to be concerned about. But at this point, I'm thinking, you know what? I told everybody I don't think I'm going to run the bike, but the woods is looking so good right now. I'm starting to change my mind, and I decided that yes, I'm going to bring the bike and run it on Saturday or Sunday. So yeah, there will be a part 2. I'm only going to do the quads on this video, and then I'll do a complete new video for the bikes. Make sure you watch it. We are Trail Seeker Adventures. We bring you around to race events, ride parks, different type of things outdoors. Most of it has trail related, hence the name Trail Seeker. We want you to find a trail that's suitable for you. We've been to Croon Motorcycle Park in Florida, to out west to show you what the trails out west is all about. We've been to Hatfield McCoy's. I've been to Switchback Raceway. Well, it's Switchback Indoor Motocross Park in Pennsylvania above Pittsburgh. Make sure you check that all out. If this is the type of stuff you like watching, make sure you like our channel. Leave a comment. If there's anything that you like or don't like, please let me know. I'm constantly wanting to try to make it better. The watch time has been awesome. We are hitting that out of the park. You guys are watching the videos, but we're having a little problems with the subscribers. That's what YouTube's all about, is trying to get as many subscribers as you can to help it make it worthwhile. I'm probably going to go ahead and do another year. If the subscribers don't start kicking in and adding up, I'm probably going to back out of it. But I just want you all to be able to check out the trails, different race parks. We've been to snowshoe, downhill. We've been to snowshoe, snowboarding. We've been mountain biking at different places. But make sure you leave a note if there's something you like, if there's something you don't like, both ways. Make sure you leave a comment. Hit that subscribe button if you're on a phone or a mobile device. Down in the bottom you'll see a little subscribe icon. Hit that. We'll wait till the end of the video. Hit the logo in the middle of the card, or go to YouTube, look up Trail Seeker Adventures, and hit the subscribe button. Well, we're coming up into the field. This is just about going to wrap up lap 1, at least as much of it that was worth watching. I tried to rip a tear off as much as I could for you, and so you can see what the trail's all about. Coming through the pits here, this is where it's pretty icy. Like I say, this is CJ Raceway in Newburgh, West Virginia, round 1 of the new East Coast. We're at the beginning of February. They take a risk and put a date in. Most of the time it is snowy, but to be honest with you, how often do you get to come out and race on a nice snowy, cold day? I was surprised there was close to, I think, 80 quads out here today, not including the youth. There was a lot of youth out here. It's always so good to see the youth out here ripping around. They're slipping and sliding and having a blast. If you raced or had somebody here racing, make sure you stay till the end of the video. I added all of the starts. I think my son Neil said he got them all except the pros. He missed the pros taking off, but they are at the end of this video. Well, my thumb loosened up, my arms are feeling pretty good, my shoulders feeling good. I'm starting to get used to the quad again, and I don't know if you can tell, but I'm starting to twist the throttle a little harder, and I'm ready to rip through this woods and try to get back to the front. Love to hear that 450 open up and rip through the trails. the tires on this thing is not the best. I was surprised. I did not get stuck one time the entire day. I spun around twice, I think, out in the field. Once on the first lap, and I think maybe the third or fourth lap I spun it around all by myself, nobody around. I did have a problem with goggles. The film, I think, was too old. Somewhere around about half a lap here on this lap, it ripped. So I basically did not wipe it off. I had spots all throughout my goggles, and I just suffered until I got back to the trailer, because I wear contacts. I'm an old man, I can't have C, so I put contacts in, and there's nothing worse than getting mud in your eyes with a set of contacts. I have before lost contacts. I have had them half in and half out, and have one eye blurry and one eye clear, and makes you about half dizzy. So I try to keep them goggles on as long as I can, and that's why goggles are so important. Now, I don't know if you raced. I come ripping out through here, and there's a rock right between these two trees right there. I thought for sure I flattened the tire, but it was okay. As you know, if you know me, I race both the quads and the bike, and this actually, with the new East Coast, makes it a lot better for that, because you can race on Saturday and then get a little recovery time, and then come back out here on Sunday and race Sunday. The Mountain State Hair Scramble, they run them both on one day, and I've broke my back, and they ride the bikes first, or they race the bikes first, and then quads. About halfway through the quad race on the same day, my back is killing me, and so I slow down and I finish it, but I usually don't finish that well. And today I'm able to get out here on this quad, even though I haven't been on it probably for 6 months. Feeling pretty good and having a blast out here, just throwing some mud and snow. But if you've seen Mike, which was the guy that I was trying to pass in the field on the first lap, I was talking to him. He races bikes also. Now, I never even knew he raced four-wheelers or even had a four-wheeler. And talking to him, he said he's going to do the same. He's going to race the quad and the bike. So he's out here. He looked pretty strong there early on. I'm not sure he's behind me. The only thing I'm not a big fan of on the new East Coast, you have no idea where you're at. There's not a monitor to tell you what position you're in. At this point, I think I'm second. The guy that was in first, I haven't seen him, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't see him the rest of the day. But basically, this video is going to be short because for some odd reason my battery went dead at the beginning of the third lap. I'm wrapping up the second lap. Having a little trouble here, but long story short, I basically got I was on my fourth lap, and halfway through that there was a logging road with a little jump in it. I went to jump it and snapped the chain. I've never broke a chain before. I've had a chain come off a few times. I'm not sure if the adjuster came loose and it tightened up or loosened up, because as soon as it broke, it locked up the rear wheels. I looked down on the front sprocket and it was completely gone. The chain got wedged in between the sprocket and the swing arm, locked up the rear wheels. If you're out here racing and you see me in the middle of the track, I cannot move that thing. I couldn't roll it forward, I couldn't roll it backwards, I couldn't slide it out of the rut. And luckily it was on a logging road and you all was able to get around me safely. Thank you very much. A little pro tip, I did start the four-wheeler up because my sleeves were soaking wet, and I stuck my hands down at the exhaust and let the exhaust blow up my shirt to try to warm me up a little bit. But I had a 2-minute lead. I was first place when the old chain broke on my last lap. Well, the pros got 5 laps. I was not lapped yet. Not that I was aware of. I don't think I was lapped. And so I had a half a lap in order to get back to the finish, and I would have won, but it didn't happen. I ended up third. He was Chris won on the 124. Bill got second on 076. It was his number. I was the 110 as I roll in here to get new throttle or new goggles. That's what they're called. I was third. And Mike, a good friend of mine that was wanting to start racing quads again, I'm not sure if he still likes that idea. He was fourth on the 744. Willie was fifth on the 552, and Tom was sixth on 077. Looks like he only got a lap. He must have had an issue. And as far as the overall, Jeremy got first, Devin got second, and Ron got third. Good job, guys. I want to give a big thanks to Elkins Motorsports, LTD Graphics. If you like our graphics, make sure you check them out. You can get a 25% discount if you mention the code Trail Seekers. And make sure you subscribe to our channels. Here comes the starts. You can check out how slick and all the drama that we had in the first and second turn. Thanks, Neil, for standing out in the cold and getting some video. I hope you enjoy it, and just make sure you subscribe to our channel, and we should have the bikes in a couple days. If you were here at the CJ Raceway round 1 at the New East Coast on 2021, I had several guys come up and tell me that they enjoy our channel. That helps me know that we're out here doing something worthwhile. And also I want to give a big thanks to Outlaw Motorsports for all that he does, and Joey's Bike Shop. If you're looking for an e-bike or a mountain bike, make sure you check them out in Elkins, West Virginia. As they're all slipping and sliding around in turn 2, I just want to say we had an awesome time here at the New East Coast round 1. And if you see us at a race event or a ride park, make sure you stop by and say hey. And I appreciate any suggestions that you would want to bring up, that whether it be a race event that you want to have us go check out, or ideas for the channel that you would like to see. We are hoping to get to, probably our next race event will be the US Sprint Cross. They're taking over the full gas Sprint Cross Enduros, or I'm not sure if full gas is coming back. They announced that they are going to quit, but doing the series, I'm not sure if somebody else is buying that series, but the US Sprint Cross is the series that has taken over the events, as well as the 6 days qualifier, which I believe is going to be in South Carolina this year. We are hoping to do not full gas, but the GNCC most of the locals in this area, Mountain State Hare Scrambles, New East Coast, and I'm wanting to try some hard enduro in case you ever wonder what that's all about. I've never done hard enduros, so if you haven't either, you'll be able to find out whether it's something that you'll want to do. But thanks again for watching. Thanks for everybody who came by and talked and helped us out. We'll see you here in a couple days. I'll get the bike video out and see how much slipping and sliding around we did. It definitely got colder over the night. It was down in the teens, and everything you see here that's kind of slushy mud became frozen mud. And it's definitely interesting in the fields with the bikes. But thanks a lot. I'll let you finish watching the rest of these starts in peace. And I want to say thanks for watching. Here's where you can subscribe to our channel or watch the next video. In order to subscribe, just push the logo in the middle of the card. Thanks for watching.